Heyo.
What's up, guys?
We are here.
Welcome to another Friday AdClass training. It's gonna be a fun one, guys. I'm also in a different location. If you are a frequent viewer, having my carpets cleaned, so I've been booted into a different room. But
It's a beautiful room.
Yeah,
We're just happy you're here, Caleb.
Oh yeah, I am too. I'm happy I'm here too. But it's a beautiful Friday, guys. We got an awesome training in the books for you today. We are going to be launching a YouTube ad live on this call. So whether you're joining us live or whether you're watching the recording, we are going to be diving deep here in a second into an actual live YouTube ad account. We're going to push one live. So if you've never launched a YouTube ad before, or you're curious how we launch YouTube ads, this video is for you.
Let's go.
Oh yeah. So we'll wait a couple seconds, get a few more people on here. But yeah, what do you got going on this weekend, Dakota? Any weekend plans?
Not too much, man. Not too much. It's been a whirlwind of a week. I feel like this week's flown by. Can't believe it's already Friday. Got that Friday feeling going.
Yes.
Thankful to be here. Thankful to be alive. We got not a lot of plans this weekend. It's been a little weird and windy and cold here in Phoenix, so hopefully it warms up a little. We can go outside and enjoy the outdoors a little bit. What about you?
Yeah, man. Pretty chill weekend here for us too. Like you said, it's been a crazy week, so it'll be nice to kind of relax a bit. We do have some friends coming in from out of town. They'll get here on Saturday night, so it'll be cool to see them. But yeah, pretty chill weekend overall.
Love it. Well,
all right. Sweet, guys. Well, yeah, we're gonna dive in. So Dakota's gonna be sharing his screen. We're actually gonna launch a YouTube ad live for AdClass, our brand. So pretty excited to get this one launched on YouTube. We actually haven't launched YouTube ads yet for this specific offer that we're launching for. So it'll be the first official AdClass ad on YouTube for this offer, which will be cool.
We're gonna do it for real. We're gonna actually literally launch a YouTube ad the way that we launch them here at AdClass. So this is hopefully going to be a pretty effective training for you guys. You get to see kind of how an agency who spends, we spend probably, I don't know, I'd say about 40-50% of our total ad budget on YouTube. So somewhere 10 to 15, $20 million total on Google/YouTube ads over the course of the last 4 years or so. And this is how we structure it. So I'm excited to kind of share some of the secrets.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. So without further ado, kick it off, man. What is step number one when getting a YouTube ad launched?
Yes, sir. So I am going to kind of walk through where you have to start first, right? So the obvious first thing to know about YouTube ads is that we have to have a YouTube video first to run a YouTube ad, right? So if you don't have the video creative yet, that's what you need to solve for first, okay? And talking about video creatives, YouTube now is a pretty dynamic platform. It's not just in-feed videos like it used to be, right? It's not just those sort of like rectangular videos that you go to, youtube.com and click on a video and view that. That is a primary placement. And ads that serve in those videos, like when they pop up and you see a skip button after 5 seconds, that is still a primary placement called skippable in-stream ads. But there are other placements now that are working quite well on YouTube. Caleb, I know we're having a lot of success with YouTube Shorts as an example. YouTube Shorts, if you're not aware, is basically, TikTok, but on YouTube. So, I'll pull my phone up actually right now. And when you see like the homepage of YouTube, just the very homepage, you see up here a traditional video and right below it, Shorts. Right?
Hey, Dakota, do you like sports, bro?
Well, that's a PlayStation one. So not only do I like sports, I also like PlayStation. They know me. It's right there. All right. So, but check this out. Like they're pushing Shorts really hard. It's the second thing you see on the app. And then down here, there's also Shorts, this button here, and it'll just take you straight to Shorts. If you were to click on one of these, you can see the format here, just like TikTok, right? And you kind of scroll through and you see a bunch more videos. There's Casey Neistat. He's making shorts. So you probably should be too. So all that to say, YouTube ads includes, in my mind, sort of the traditional YouTube ad also includes those short form sort of content. And so you're going to achieve the different results based on using different ones, but you start at the same place either way, which is you got to have video creative. Step number one, right?
Super important. Yep.
Yes. And we have also done some free trainings in the past where you can go in and see we wrote an ad together. If you don't know where to start, like go back to those kind of free trainings and watch us script ads together. And then basically you can apply that to your framework, record the scripts, and go for it. We'll have a future training too, Caleb, if you want to tell them about the app.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like just about to say that. So I think if you're also sitting there right now thinking like, okay, cool, I have to have a video ad in order to launch YouTube ads. We'll do maybe next week or in a future training. If you guys are interested, definitely comment below and let us know like what you guys want. Because again, we're trying to do the content that you guys want to learn about. But if you guys are interested, we can do a whole training on like how to actually record a YouTube ad from your phone, get it to look really nice and clean and professional, and then get that uploaded. So one of the common myths about YouTube ads is, oh, I got to go hire a videographer and I got to have this big production going on. And that's absolutely not the case. Some of the ads that Dakota and I have seen make, multiple millions of dollars are literally just ads that were shot on an iPhone. So you can do it that way. And if you guys are interested in understanding that, go ahead and comment and let us know, and we'll make sure to do a future training on that. So cool.
Yes. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. We're going to start basically from scratch. We're going to upload a YouTube video because that's where you start. You have to have the video in YouTube first for the channel that you want to run ads from. And then we're going to get into the ads platform. We're literally just going to launch an ad. So let's do it. I will share my screen. Share screen, window, channel dashboard. All right, here we go. So this is your YouTube channel dashboard. I'm going to make this a bit wider here so you guys can see maybe right about there. So this is the YouTube channel dashboard. This is literally, if you've ever run, uploaded a YouTube video before, this is the exact same place where you're going to go, which is your YouTube studio. Okay. It's no different for ads. This is the first place you got to start. When you come over into content, this is going to be a list of all of your videos. Some people like to upload their ads to different channels. They have, theories on why or why not. They think maybe the ad videos might mess with your engagement for your channel overall. I personally don't believe that. I haven't seen that to be true. We have one real estate channel actually that I run all of the ads from that channel, and he also runs all of his organic videos from that channel. Both do really, really well. So I haven't seen that to be true. However, I will just say that some people like to use a different channel for their ads. I'm just not one of those people. I think the very first thing that you're going to want to do here is push the create button up here at the top right. And you're going to upload your first video for your video ad. So you're going to go into your selection. I've already selected one ad that I had shot at Flagstaff a couple of weeks ago. So I'm just going to upload that here. And this is basically the settings panel here. So I'm going to actually walk through like all of the settings that I typically do for an ad. So first things first, this title is very important. And you have to really think through your title process now a bit more than you did in the past, because now these ads, like I said before, can show in various placements. Okay. They might not just show in the feed. People might actually be seeing a thumbnail and the title for your ad as well. This title actually needs to be good copy as well. So for this, how to run ads without an agency, something like that, right? Just think about a headline for Facebook. A lot of those headlines that would work on Facebook will work well for the title here as well. In the description, people may or may not get to this description, because if it shows as an in-stream video, they're probably not going to get to the description. But if it shows as like a responsive video, as a thumbnail or whatever, they will see a description. So for this one, sometimes I'll even put just ad copy in here, like a simplified version of the ad copy, which works really well. Other times I'll literally just make it very, very simple. I'll test both. And for this one, I'll do a simple one just because I don't have ad copy prepared. But the simple one would be something like, to learn more, get our free training here, right? And then I would just go to my funnel. Let me grab our funnel link really quick. This is my funnel link here. Come back, paste that right there, right? And this is just going to be front and center before the fold. They're going to see exactly how they can click and learn more about this offer, right? You can already see a preview for the ad over here. This is basically how it's going to show in feeds, right? And so I'm uploading a classic YouTube video sort of dimensions. So this is not going to be a short ad. This is going to be a in placement ad. Down here, the thumbnail is more important than ever. And in fact, I would take more time here. I would actually upload like a classic YouTube thumbnail. You guys have seen, Mr. Beast is the king of YouTube thumbnails, right? Caleb, I don't know if you have any other examples of like good YouTube thumbnails, but I would recommend using a good thumbnail here now because it can show as a responsive video as well. And I'll actually show you what that looks like. Oops. Okay, I can't type YouTube.
Yeah, while you're looking for this too, or
so you'll see like these thumbnails here, right? This is actually an ad right here.
Yeah.
Ring in the new year. That's an ad.
So one of the other cool things to think about here too is thumbnails don't have to be like something that you have to like feel like it's like very overwhelming. You can do thumbnails in Canva, and Canva even has some really cool like pre-made templates and things to get your like foundation started. But what we found typically that works the best with thumbnails is have a photo of like a face if you can. So if you're running an ad that's like you, right, speaking, then make sure that your face is in that thumbnail, and then use extremely large text. That's going to be something that like intrigues them a little bit and gets them to want to click, right? So you have to think about it as a hook as well. But yeah, you can come in here right into Canva, and a lot of times if you type like YouTube thumbnail, you'll even just get examples of like, what they have. So
yeah. And I did the wrong dimensions here, but yeah, just literally there's so many templates and stuff you can use from Canva, which are going to be super helpful. Yeah, great point there, Caleb. So I'm just going to select one of these pre-made ones for now, just because I don't have a thumbnail created. This can work as well, especially if your video is like got a lot of different graphics and things going on. But for now, I'm going to leave it just like that. Playlist, this is pretty irrelevant. You don't need this unless you wanted to create a playlist just for your Facebook ads, but these are going to be unlisted, so they're not going to show up on your public facing channel. So the playlist part doesn't really matter. For audience, you just say, no, it's not made for kids. Basically, it's asking, is this a like children's educational video? Here, do you want to restrict your video to an adult audience? You can basically say, yeah, only people 18 or older can see it, or no, that's not the case, right? So either way, that doesn't apply to my specific video. Now, this is the important part. You want to click this show more button. They're trying to get you to not click this. And you do want some of these things. So automatic places, I'm going to deselect. I'm going to basically deselect everything. I'm not going to let people embed this video on their website. I'm not going to publish to a subscriptions feed. I'm not going to let people sample this video. The category doesn't matter too much. You can change this category if you want. I'm not going to, I'm actually going to leave it at, let's see. Yeah, people and blogs, I like that. For comments, this one, it depends on how often you're in YouTube. I like hold potentially inappropriate comments for review. Basically, it's going to screen them for bad words and things like that and not put them through. And then you're going to actually be able to see these and approve them or deny them yourself. This is a new feature. I've never seen this before. This is new as of this week, I guess. You can increase the strictness of that. Not sure what that does, but something we can test out. Let's try it. And then you can also say, show how many viewers like or dislike this video. I usually remove that, especially for an ad video, because let's be real, a lot of people don't like ads. So I'm going to just leave that off.
Yep. And just to like reiterate something that you just talked about earlier there is, I don't know if you guys caught this, but when he said that things are going to be unlisted, like these aren't posted to your channel. Okay. So for those of you that are like, you're actually trying to grow your organic YouTube following, you don't have to stress about like, oh, am I going to have an ad that pops up in my, no, it's unlisted. So people won't be able to search or find it on your channel.
Yep, exactly. Awesome. So you click next, you go into video elements. You don't need to do anything here for an ad. Just leave that alone. Copyright check, it's going to check for you. You're good there. And this is exactly what Caleb's talking about right now. So here, you do not want to publish this video. Otherwise, if you have subscribers, they're all going to just see your ad right away. Instead, you want to click unlisted. It's very important. Don't click private, because private will not be able to show on Google Ads. It has to be unlisted, which means it's still out there. You can find it. The only way you can find it, though, is with the link, right? So I'm actually going to copy this link right now. I'll show you why in a little bit, but I'm going to copy that to my clipboard, and then I'm going to go ahead and click save. All right. If anyone has any questions, please ask them now before I get into Google Ads themselves. But I'm about to hop right on over. Now we have basically our ad video right here. This is our first ad video. You would do that process as many times as you have ad videos to test, right? So, this is kind of the most time consuming piece, honestly, is uploading those videos. But once you get a groove going or a template going, it's pretty easy. But sweet, I have that here now, and I'm going to come back into my ad account now. So I'll just do a quick refresh so that you guys see it the way it will pop up the first time. There's a lot going on in the Google Ads Manager. I would highly recommend familiarizing yourself with the Google Ads Manager before you push your first campaign live, for sure. However, just as a brief overview, as this loads, this main page here is going to be where all of your ad campaigns live. Specifically, I would jump right down to campaigns on the left-hand side. And if you've ever run a Facebook ad, this might look familiar to you. This table view is sort of like, what every ad platform looks like when it's broken down to its simplest form. So basically, this table view is broken up in the exact same way as Facebook, which has campaigns, and then inside of campaigns are ad groups, slightly different title. In Facebook, they're called ad sets. Here, they're called ad groups. And then within those ad groups, there are ads, right? So fundamentally, very similar process. The main things that are different are just the bid strategies and the placements that you have to learn, and kind of the way it's all put together. But for the most part, fundamentally the same sort of process. Anything you'd add before I move on, Caleb?
No, you nailed it.
I'm going to jump into a couple things before we create our first campaign. Okay. 2 very, very important steps before we create our first campaign, which is you want to come up here to tools and settings. And the very first thing is conversions. Now, we've talked a little bit about Facebook Pixel before. Google has its own version of the Pixel called Google Tags. And Google Tags are what's going to actually capture conversion data in your funnel. So we've gone through this before here in some free trainings. If you don't know what a pixel is, you definitely want to familiarize yourself with the pixel. But basically, in layman's terms, the pixel or the Google Tags, whichever one you want to talk about, goes on your funnel and tells the ad platform when people do things that you care about in your funnel. Okay. So you'll see that I've added a tag for VSL opt-in, and I've also added a tag for booked call. I have these tags and I make them fire on pages in my funnel that I care about, right? And so the very first thing you need to know is when you click into any one of these tags, I've already created these, and this training is not about how to create these, so we're not going to go over that yet. But once you have them created, you can actually look at the setup here. And basically what you do is you add the Google tag snippet to every page in your funnel. And then you add the specific event snippet that you're creating to just the page that they make it to right after they complete that event. So as an example, if I'm capturing leads or VSL opt-ins, I go back to my funnel and I ask myself, okay, at what page do I know they've completed that process? Well, on the opt-in page, they have not opted in yet, right? So I do not want to fire VSL opt-in or lead on this page. Instead, once they opt in, I want to fire it on this page, right? And so up here, this is the Facebook pixel. You'll see I'm already firing completed registration, which is my event for lead. And then if I click over here on the tag assistant for Google conversions, which is a very important plugin that you'll need, it doesn't show up because I'm sharing my window, so you guys can't see it.
It doesn't show up,
but you'll click on here and it does tell me that a conversion is firing here. Okay, so and it tells me the ID of the conversion. It says J5LQ. If I go back into here and I look at this, J5LQ, right? And so this is basically saying, yes, this is firing on that page, meaning that if somebody clicks on my ad and then makes it to that page, what happens is Google Ads now knows that this event fired there, right? VSL opt-in. Yeah. So kind of complicated. You do need to familiarize yourself with how events work and everything like that, but do not run ads unless you have the pixel and the events set up on your funnel. I cannot emphasize that enough.
Yeah, can't stress that enough, guys. If the ad platform doesn't understand what's actually happening after people click your ad, then you're just wasting your money, right? Your website needs to be able to communicate back to Google and say, hey, somebody just opted in, right? If it can't do that, your ads are running and not knowing who's opting in or how many opt-ins are happening. So this is definitely really, really crucial. Every ad platform is going to have something similar. Google, it's called conversions. Facebook, they're called events. But you're going to need to make sure that you understand how this works for sure. So
yes, awesome. So you're going to have your conversion set up for your funnel. In this funnel, I have 2 conversions. I have the VSL opt-in conversion, and then I also have the booked call conversion. That just happens after somebody books a call, makes it to the success page. So these are the 2 things that I care about in this funnel. And in fact, that's all I care about in this entire account. So I'm going to basically use those 2 conversions as the main action that I tell my ads to optimize for. I'm going to blend those 2 conversions together. I'm going to tell my ads, get me people that opt in and booked calls. Okay. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second. Now, the other step to do right before we launch ads, after we work out our conversions, make sure they're all set up properly, is we go into the audience manager. Excuse me. So once we're in the audience manager, though, this is basically on Google, it's much more important than Facebook, because on Facebook, there are a lot of good pre-made interests that, you know, might be really, really similar to your target market. And also on Facebook, we have the ability to create lookalike audiences, which are incredibly potent, good audiences, especially if you have source data. On Google, we are more limited in that sense on like pre-made audiences, but we have something that Facebook does not have, which is intent-based audiences, right?
huge.
Caleb, you want to talk a little bit about intent and discovery, kind of the differences between Facebook and Google?
Yeah, so this is kind of where like you'll hear people who are really big avid Google and YouTube fans, like this is where they make their probably the strongest argument for why you should be running YouTube ads, because Google is Google, right? Everybody goes to Google for searches. Everybody like pretty much everybody on the internet knows Google, right? Not necessarily everybody on the internet has a Facebook account. Okay, a ton of people do, but there's way more data that Google has access to. And so because of the access to that data that Google has, they have a way stronger ability to be able to use that in the ads to say, hey, someone is like currently in the market and searching for this thing, right? So if someone types into Google, since we're talking about this advertising offer that we're doing, right? If someone types into Google how to launch a Facebook ad, right? There is some serious intent behind that person, right? They're actively searching. They want to know how that works, right? And so because Google has that data, it's able to plug that into intent-based audiences here that you can choose from. So you know that when you're choosing these audience, these are people who have showed that they're actually actively searching and interested in this thing. Right? I'm not sure if you want to add to that, but
Dude, no, that's perfect. I mean, think of it this way. Google is Google. What do you do when you have a problem? You go to Google or you go to YouTube, right? You type in something, how do I blank, 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 right? Google knows that. It has that data, and you can now target people using that data. Another great example that I always use is like a plumber, right? If you're a plumber trying to put an ad on Facebook as an example, and it's like, hey, hire me to fix your plumbing, and it shows up to 1 million people, maybe like 100 people in that audience have a plumbing issue right now that might need you, but most of them don't. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't hire plumbers when I don't have an issue that needs a plumber to fix it, right? And so for that unique situation, you're going to want to run a Google ad, because when people type in plumbers in Phoenix, Arizona, you want to be popping up, right? You want your video to be in their feeds. You want it to be everywhere so that they know that they can hire you. That's intent-based versus discovery ads. And so it's super important, and really a strong suit of YouTube ads. So all that being said, how do we create custom segments? Well, you come over into here, custom segments. This is where you're going to basically run ads create audiences that you can run ads to based on custom search intent. So you used to be able to do like keyword-based campaigns, topic-based campaigns, stuff like that in YouTube. You can no longer do that as of this year. So instead, what you're going to want to do is create a new custom segment. Caleb's example was really good, how to run a Facebook ad. We can think of a few like that. So I'm just going to do like Facebook ads related keywords. And so down here, you can either choose from people with intentions or purchase intentions, or people who searched any of these terms. So I'm actually going to go to the search terms, and I'm going to be kind of specific, how to create a Facebook ad as an example. And then it's going to actually give me some other recommendations based on that. So how to create a Facebook ad account, how to set up a Facebook business manager, right? Some of these that are pretty relevant for us, how to set up Facebook ads, right? So these 4 seem pretty
so
good.
powerful. I love Google.
It's amazing. Yeah. So, and then over here, we'll actually tell you a lot about your demographic. So how many weekly impressions can you get targeting this group? Just a ton, 5 billion to 10 billion weekly impressions. So that's great. What is the, gender skew? What is the age skew? Are they parents or not? Right. You get a little bit of a snapshot here on this audience. So I'm going to click save. I'm just going to use this one for now. You're going to want to do a lot of more audience research to kind of think through what websites do your people hang out on, right? Like what things do they purchase, at the same time as looking at your product, right? So if you're like a t-shirt designer, and you're creating t-shirts that are like a similar quality to, another company that you know about, you can actually create a type of audience based on people who browse certain URLs. Like maybe your like biggest competitor is, I don't know. I'm bad at t-shirt brands. Anybody got a t-shirt brand?
Built,
Built,
BYLT.
BILT.com. Yeah. Okay.
Or
So maybe,
BYLT, I think it is.
BYLT. Yeah, you're right. Built.
Oh, snap. We got Ryan and John up here in
What
the
up?
chat. What's up, guys? Good to
Built.
see
So there you go. So now you can kind of see, okay, females, age range, whatever. So, research your audience so that you can create good audiences for them. Any questions, anything you want to add on the audience side, Caleb, before we actually create the ad itself?
I think we've already talked about it. It's just understanding how powerful intent-based audiences are on Google and making sure that you use that to your advantage. So think about what your customers are searching for. What are someone right before they buy your product, what are they probably searching for right before that happens, right? Use that to your advantage.
Yep, exactly. Alrighty. So we've done the 2 primary steps. There's other things you'll need to set up in here, but the 2 primary things before you launch your first ad are going to be setting up the conversions and getting some audiences to run to. Once you've done those 2 things and you've uploaded your video to YouTube right here, then you're ready to go. All we got to do is push it live. So we're going to go back to the main dashboard. We're going to go to campaigns, and I'm going to push this blue create campaign button. What is up, John Cardis? John is in the house. Look at that. Look at that feature. Highlight his comment right there. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right. New campaign. Now, here's the very first thing is you have to select an objective. Okay. So objective is ultimately going to be based on those conversion events. So it depends on the type of funnel you're running. We're running a funnel that's going to create leads and calls. So I'm going to click leads here. Now, then it's going to ask me, okay, which conversions in your conversion panel do you want to optimize this for? I'm basically going to tell it that I like the leads and the booked calls, right? Exactly what we created. So I've actually added both of these here. What you can do is you can add other goals in here as well, like YouTube engagements, right? As a goal. I don't want that, but you can modify these as much as you choose. And testing these is a really good way to make ads perform differently, better, or worse, depending on what you test. Once you do that, you can click continue. Now, this is where you're going to choose the actual like campaign type, which is basically the placement of your campaign on Google's properties. So you're going to see Google Search, Performance Max, which is sort of a new way that they do of like targeting everything all at once. Display ads, which are like those banners that pop up on certain websites that you've seen. Shopping ads, which are more e-com focused. Discovery ads, which can go like on Gmail, a bunch of other platforms, and that's more like brand awareness. And then finally, video, which is what we're doing today. So I'm going to select video, and we're going to be doing a conversion or a campaign that drives conversions based on all the data we've given it so far.
Really quick, yeah. I wanted to say really quick as like he's moving on. For everybody that's like you're still new to YouTube and all that, just think for a second like how powerful Google is just right there with like search, display, video, shopping, right? Like there's so much that you can do on Google once you actually start diving in and trying to use it. It's a really powerful platform.
Yeah, I mean, completely. All right. So then the campaign name, as you guys know, I'm a little bit anal about the nomenclature. So I'm going to keep my nomenclature very similar to how I do in Facebook, except the one thing, since this is Google ads and not just, YouTube ads, we're going to identify that this is a YouTube campaign first. So I'm just going to do YT. They also put a little emblem next to it saying that it's a YouTube campaign, but I like to just have it here in case you ever export the data or you're pushing into a third-party platform like Hyros, you know that it was a YouTube campaign. Then I'm going to do what we're optimized toward. So you can either say like O lead or O reg, or sometimes I'll do optimized toward just conversions. And that just tells me it's all account conversions. It's all the ones we've added. And then from here, you're going to do a little bit more about your demographics. I'm going to do USA only for this one, male, female, 25 through 45, which is kind of what we've decided we want to target for this offer. And I'm just putting this all here so that I have it really easily available to me and I don't have to go in and check the settings to see what I'm targeting. And then apart from that, I'm just going to do the audience type, which we just made that new audience, which was Facebook, custom segment. I don't remember what I called it. I can go back and edit that.
Yeah, like Facebook keywords or something like that. I think you did.
Okay, yeah, Facebook keywords. So basically, it's just the audience that you're going to be targeting here. And then the creative. And the creative was, I think it was ad 8. Let me see. When I click into here, it will tell me Snow ad 5. Okay. So I'm going to use the title that I know it as, which is like, Snow ad 5. And not this, because I'm probably going to use this name, this headline quite a few times, and it might be used with different ads. So I'm just going to name this something that I know what it is.
That ad is so funny. He's just like laying in the snow.
Yeah, it's a good one. All right, cool. So then that's it. That's my name, my campaign name. I'm just going to copy that so I have it. Coming down here, I said USA only. So we're targeting United States. English is good. We're going to come down to bid strategy. This is the first thing that you're going to want to really pay attention to in terms of how to make sure your ads work properly. There are two schools of thought. Max conversions is what YouTube wants you to use right now. That's why it's highlighted first. Max conversions is kind of, they're making more of a push toward max conversions recently. I myself have had better luck with TCPA bidding, which is the other one, target cost per acquisition bidding, which we'll talk about in just a second. But a lot of people on our team, Ryan included right now, he's spending a lot on max conversion campaigns. So both work, but they are slightly different in the way that you set them up, and they achieve slightly different results. So max conversions, what that means is you give the ads a budget and it gets as many conversions as it can within that budget. Your conversions, once again, are set up in your funnel just like we already did, which in this funnel, it's leads and booked calls, right? So if I give my ad campaign a budget of $100 a day, let's just throw that in here. If I give my ad campaign a budget of $100 a day, it's going to get as many conversions as it can for that dollar amount. Now, I told it conversions are leads or calls. So it might get me 100 leads and 0 calls, and it still might think it's doing a really good job, right? Because it's getting conversions, and that's all it knows to get is conversions. So when lead gen type campaigns, when your one action that you care about is leads, max conversion is a really good option because it's going to basically use that budget as effectively as it possibly can, right? However, it might not get you the best quality of people, okay? That's what I've noticed. TCPA, or target cost per acquisition, tends to be a slightly higher quality. Now, there you go. It's already starting to tell me some stuff here. I selected TCPA. That's what I choose to launch with typically. It's a little bit more complex, but that's what I like to use. Both work, once again. But if you're going to launch with TCPA, you have to basically tell it what your target cost is, or your target CPA is for a conversion in this funnel. So imagine with me for just a second, we have 2 conversions in this funnel. We have people will become a lead, and then some of those people that become a lead will go on to become a call. Let's say we have 10 people. Let's say we get 100 clicks, and 10 of those clicks become leads, okay? Not all of those 10 leads who give us their email are going to go on to book a call. So let's say we get 2 of the 10 go on and book a call. My total number of conversions now is 10 for the number of leads plus 2 for the number of calls. That's 12 conversions. So on $100 in spend, we divide by 12, I don't know, $9 per conversion, something like that, right? That is basically going to be what you want to give as a TCPA bid, right? Because it's blending together the cost between those 2 conversions. So it becomes a little bit more complicated. And typically the TCPA bid is not going to average out to be exactly what your cost per conversion is. Typically it's going to have to be somewhere in the range that it kind of gives you here. So for this, I might start it at $20 a day for a TCPA bid and see what happens. It's already telling me to increase my budget, right? So that the campaign will optimize more quickly. So this is something that you might set at the beginning, run the ads, and then they don't spend because it's like, we can't get conversions for $20. Then you'd have to up that TCPA bid to $25. Give it a day or so. Doesn't spend. Up it to 30. Give it a day or so. Oh, it spent half the budget. Okay, 35. Give it a day or so. Oh, it spent the full budget, right? So it's a learning process with TCPA. So for that reason, maybe we'll start with max conversions just to simplify things here. So you give it the budget, you tell it max conversions, it's going to find as many conversions as it can within that budget.
One other thing I'll just add to this too that I think is good to know is that if you are launching a new offer or you don't have a ton of traffic yet or a lot of conversions data yet, max conversions can be a nice way to get started because it's just going to push as much traffic and it'll start to learn. And then once you've got that data, you can then also move then to TCPA because you already understand about an average of what it costs to get these different things. Obviously, it's going to change a little bit when you move to TCPA, but max conversions will give you traffic to kind of understand how your funnel is converting, at least at like an average, right? So
100%. Yeah, it's a really good strategy to start with, for sure. So we'll do that. We'll start there. You're going to set your budget. Your budget, basically the way that it works is it's not going to necessarily spend that budget every day. In fact, Google a lot of times will underspend pretty massively and overspend pretty massively. The reason for that is that it's set it for a daily budget, but it's only going to basically look at the month worth of data and divide by how many days are in the month to get you to that budget. So as an example, if I set it at $100 a day, it's going to take how many days there are in the month. And it's going to basically say, okay, in February, then we can only spend $2,800 total on this campaign. So that being said, it will fluctuate, right? So don't be alarmed if you spend more or less here.
Yeah, that's one of the most common things that we'll see new media buyers or new business owners like have a mini panic attack because they'll come in and be like, my campaign spent double the daily budget. And it's like, yeah, but that's just because it's going to.
But it says it will right here.
Yeah.
So did you read that? Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, I've seen that happen too. Okay, cool. So then networks, you cannot change these anymore. And this has been the biggest change in YouTube in the last couple of years for ads. You used to be able to basically say you only wanted it to show up in video feeds, but now you have to allow it to show in search results and video partners in the display network. So that's why that thumbnail part is pretty important because it might show up in formats that you were not expecting, right? Not just in video feed. They called this responsive video, and this was a big change back in 2021. Okay, so then content exclusions. Basically, this is in a different place now is what it's telling you. We're not going to worry about that right now. Site links. These are things that you can definitely add and get more conversions for. This is more important for Google ads. We're not going to worry about it too much right now. But basically, if you had like a contact us page in your website or a reviews page in your website, you can add all of that here and give them reviews. And that shows up like in the Google ads listings, but it can also show up sometimes for video ads. All right, cool. Now here in for this, like for the sake of this tutorial, we'll just go through their setup here because it lets us kind of do it all in one place. I will say you're probably going to create a video campaign using this setup one time, and then every other time you're probably going to duplicate it and create a new campaign from the shell of the old one that you've created. In fact, I really, really, really recommend that you get something called Google Ads Editor. It is a standalone software.
It's free.
It's free. I'm just trying to find where the download link is. Version 11. There you go. Download Google Ads Editor. So this is going to let you like edit your ads in bulk really quickly outside of the Google Ads platform. It's advanced, I will say. We're going to maybe do a future training on that too. It is advanced though. So, we're going to teach it in the platform first. And then if you ever want to get really efficient and really quick with it, I highly recommend the Google Ads Editor. That being said, we're moving on to the ad group level. So ad group level, I'm going to use the exact same nomenclature that I used before. I'm just going to paste it in. And the only difference here, would be like if I had multiple ad sets targeting different audiences, or if I was splitting up my ad sets based on something else, I would do that here, right? I would basically change my ad group based on my targeting. For this campaign, we're keeping it simple. We're going to keep it with just one ad group because we only have one ad and one audience that we want to test. So if I wanted to test more audiences, a couple of schools have thought you can do it the Facebook way, where you duplicate the ad group and use a different audience, or you can test, other things at the audience level, like income levels, locations, certain exclusions like that. But for the sake of this, we're going to keep it pretty simple. The one thing that I will say though is that I'm going to segment down by income level a little bit here. So I'm going to add one thing into this ad group level. And I'm going to say top 30% income. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. So here I'm going to add an audience. And this is the audience that we have already created. Let's see. Custom segments, yeah. It's doing that on its own. So get rid of whatever it does there. Make sure that you're selecting the one that you've created for this. So we did Facebook ads related keywords, I think, right?
Yep.
That's what we created together, Caleb. Yeah. So that's where I'm going to add this custom segment. And this is going to be, I'm going to just name it here, FB ads related keywords. This is the thing we created in the audience manager before we started. And then you can also create like combined audience segments too in that audience manager, and that's where you would put them here as well. But for this one, we're just going to keep it there. For data, this is where you could like retarget people if you wanted to add in a list of your own that you own. You can basically browse your segments here, and like website visitors as an example, all converters, all of these things pop up here. We're not going to do that for this campaign. You can also add in the in-market segments, which are basically the pre-made audiences from Google. These pre-made audiences are pretty large categories, so use at your own risk. I mean, some of them are probably pretty good. Some of them are a little bit too broad. For us, like advertising and marketing might work, but what I would probably do is click that and then filter down by something else as well. Like they have to match that, but then also need to be interested in Facebook ads, as an example.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, exclusions. We are going to exclude some people. We're going to exclude people who have already converted on our offer. So we're going to just say all converters. It's going to throw me an error because I don't think we have a large enough list of converters yet to exclude, because it's a brand new offer. It says it's 1 to 12 people large. So in other words, as this thing grows though, it's going to start excluding them from your future ads. Mm-hmm. And then finally, demographics. So this is where you can kind of select the age range. I already said we wanted to do 25 through, I think 44 should work. I think that's kind of what I wanted. Additional demographics, don't care about parent, but I did say that I wanted top 30% of income. So that's where I choose that. And then you also would want to deselect unknown if that was something you wanted to target as well. You can see how the once you do that, it updates over here with like your optimized targeting, how many people you can serve. This is a very large audience still. And it actually will tell you some of their top interests. Trips to Cancun and Playa del Carmen are a part of the top interests of these people. So that's it. Save. You can save this too as a new audience. What's up, Caleb?
Pretty sure you're planning a trip to Cancun, so it's kind of right.
Cabo, close enough.
Oh, Cabo, that's right, Cabo.
Close enough. All right, cool. So that is the audience. And then right here, this is super important. If you're really, really wanting to just test this audience, you need to uncheck optimized targeting. Because basically what that's saying is if you check this box, it can just basically add whoever it wants to your audience if they think they're going to convert. Sometimes it makes it better. Sometimes it makes it worse, but you don't have control over it. So I like to uncheck that just while I'm testing my first few campaigns. Something that I will test later on though. All right. And then we've already uploaded our ads. So all you got to do is paste the URL right here. I copied the URL earlier. It's right here. But you basically, try it again. There you go. There's the video. We uploaded it already. You can see right here, the ad is in here. You can see what it will look like in feed, right? You can see what it will look like in a skippable in-stream ad. Kind of all the different things that it could show up as. So the final URL, we're going to use that same URL that we put into the description of the YouTube video. So I'm going to paste it right there. You can actually change what it looks like for the display URL. I'm just going to keep it at go.adclass.com and not put any paths there. For the call to action, you have some preset ones that you can do. I like learn more. It's a really easy sort of like catch all. You can always test these though. As you can tell in media buying, there's a bajillion things you can test. It's another one of them. For headline, I already pasted something in the video that we can use. But this is going to be like very similar to your case study, like how to run ads for profit without paying for an agency. I think that's a pretty great headline. It's very congruent with what we're doing, but you only get 15 characters here. So good luck with that. How to run ads. Ads without agency, too long. This is part of the fun here. Full case study is something we almost always do, or free training. But then you can add more context here. But see, it won't show up in some formats. So you want to kind of take, there you go. So it will show up in a format like this. But in a skippable mobile ad, it might not show up. So you want to make sure that whatever you put here, it's congruent with the video, right? So free training, probably the closest thing we can get. And rack my brain for one more second here and see if there's a better one.
I was going to say like free training or case study or whatever, but I think that's...
Yeah. Cool. And then the description, you get 70 more characters here. This is just something you can add to it. I'm actually going to go back to the opt-in page and see if there's any copy that we haven't used yet. Full training with digital ad master, Dakota Hermes, or high ticket entrepreneurs who want to scale with profitable ads. Yeah, that's a good one. So come right back. It's all about congruency for high ticket entrepreneurs who want to scale with ads. Boom. Okay, for URL options, this is where you'll add your tracking template if you have one. We do use Hyros. Let me grab that really quick. Hyros, Google Ads tracking. Oopsies. Just grab this really quick. Boom. That's the shopping one. Performance Max. This can work. Campaign ID. Hold on. Here it is. It's the shopping one again. I think this one will work. Come back into here. Paste that tracking template right there. And that should be it. Custom parameters we don't need. Yeah, beautiful. So we've gone through all the steps here.
Boom, baby.
All we need to do now is push create and see if it gives us any errors. Nope, no errors. Awesome. So then you have your campaign ready to go. It will give you like an overview of everything you did right here. So you can double check for quality really quick. We have the ad group name. We have the campaign name. We have the ad here, responsive video. It's all set up. We're using max conversions. That's it. So you can just say continue to campaign. And it's going to take you basically back to your main dashboard. So if you go back to all campaigns, you'll see it listed next to your other ones. I'm in the ad group level now, so go to the campaign level. You can see it's on $100 per day, and it's learning. And that is it. We have launched our first YouTube ad for this account. Woo!
Boom. There we go.
Record time.
Yeah. And I mean, that probably took what, like 40 minutes? Because we had about 10 minutes of an intro there. And
I talked through
every step in extreme detail, right? So,
yeah.
Cool, guys. Well, we did it. We launched a YouTube ad live. We know that this is something that you guys were saying that you wanted. So continue to give us the ideas, right? We want to make sure that this group and everything that we push out for you guys is actually helping. So if you have ideas or things that you're stuck on or things that you want more content on, please comment, post in the group, let us know. It sounds like one of the next ones that we do might be how to basically film an ad, right? And get it edited and ready to get started to launch. So
Yes, sir.
cool. We do this every Friday, guys. So make sure that you join us. And any other closing comments? Thanks, Dakota, for screen sharing, man. Appreciate that.
That's it, man. And invite your friends to the group if you think anybody would benefit from what we're doing here at AdClass. And have a great weekend, everybody.
All right, guys. Catch you next time.
Peace.